Hello everyone. Color with me as I blabber on about what I drew and what I've been up to. So it is currently 3 a.m. and I just finished making 2 stat blocks for my NPCs in D&D. And I'll tell you more about D&D later, okay? Anyway, that took me like a couple of hours, and so I thought, I should probably be productive in art also before I pass out or something. But I didn't feel like drawing or editing a video, so here I am recording a voiceover instead. So in this video, I am going to be drawing some Halloween art, and by the time that I get this video out, it's either already like Halloween day or it's gonna be after that because I do things slowly. But anyway, it's better late than never, right? I sketched this and lined it off camera. I was like, I don't feel like using that footage. And also, it's gonna be like a screen recording this time for this draw with me, because I just didn't feel like using my phone, and my phone was running out of space. So I think you guys liked this screen recording last time I did it, like for the coloring tutorial, so I hope you guys don't mind. I think last time I did a poll on it, it was pretty much like split 50-50, so this is for the other 50% that is pretty neglected, that prefer screen recordings. Anyway, I am drawing Jules as a witch because I kind of mentioned it in my last video in the podcast where I drew Sydney as a ghost. What I'm doing this year for Halloween is that I'm cycling my OC's costumes from 2022, just because I thought it would be fun, you know? I thought it would be fun to draw Sydney as a ghost, Jules as a witch, and Isabella as a vampire. Isabella as a vampire, once again, better late than never. I am still working on that. Anyway, my original plan with Jules as a witch was to actually draw her holding like a big cane. But halfway through kind of finalizing the concept, I realized that I didn't want to go through the effort of drawing a cane, and it would have made drawing this take like 10 times longer because I would have had to design a cane and then also figure out how to draw it in the angle that I wanted it to be. You know, I kind of struggle with drawing props, so I just like scrapped it completely and I replaced it with a bag, because the 2022 pumpkin witch Sydney, she was carrying a bag of like whatever, you know, like potion ingredients or something. So I was like, what if Jules was holding also a bag of whatever ingredients that she has, but her ingredients are like bones, because she's still kind of like a more of an edgy type of witch, you know? And so she has a bunch of skulls on her and stuff like that. So she's holding a bag of bones. The process on this one was a little bit more different because what I usually do is explore multiple concepts, because, you know, I like to call myself a concept artist and character designer, and that's the typical process that is recommended when you're a character designer. You know, you're supposed to explore all the concepts, because then what are you concept artists for? But honestly, this is just for me, you know, and I'm kind of doing it on a time crunch because I wanted to get this out before Halloween day. And so this time I was kind of just committing to whatever came to my mind first. And it was kind of refreshing to do it like that, because I have this thing that I do where I end up making too many options for myself, and then I won't be able to decide which one I like. And so either I do none of them or I do all of them. And I mean, it still kind of happened here because I couldn't decide whether or not I wanted her to have a skirt or no skirt. And so I just made both designs in the final image because I just liked both of them. So, but you know, that was actually me with a little bit of restraint, because usually if there was no restraint, I would have given her a different top, a different hat, different shoes, and then maybe a different type of skirt, maybe different type of pants. And so it would have been like a completely different outfit. And if I had fully explored all of that, it would have taken way longer than October to finish. And I pretty much did the same with the colors. When I was choosing colors, I just went with whatever came to mind. And for some reason, red was coming to mind. I messed around with making the other color like a dark green, because green is red's complementary color, but I just didn't really think that the dark green that I chose matched Jules that much. And then I messed around with it being blue and I ended up liking the blue. You know, she ended up having some like Spider-Man type of colors for some reason. And so I hope you guys enjoy watching me color it and render it and paint over it. I definitely approached this a little bit more relaxed and kind of just went with whatever floated my boat in the overpainting part. This might have been the most, like, I don't know, relaxed I've felt working on something, and it didn't take me that long. Yeah, I don't know, like you'll see. I kind of just like really committed to what I was doing a lot more than I would have in the past. And since I said the past, I'm going to segue into talking about what I've done in the past for Halloween. So in 2022, when my YouTube channel was growing, that is when I first did my OCs in Halloween costumes. That's when I drew Jules, Sydney, and Zabella in their respective Halloween costumes as a ghost, vampire, and witch. And that same year, I think, because I was doing so many videos back then, I also drew Draculaura. And honestly, whenever I look back at that Draculaura art, I don't really like how it looks. And I've thought about redrawing it, but I just never got to it. And then the next year, 2023, I did another OC costume. I drew Olivia Wren, my green-haired OC, in... she was also a witch, just like Sydney, but she was kind of like a zombie witch, so like green and purple vibes. And then no one ever saw this because it never saw the light of day, but I tried filming a Procreate video of like a Procreate draw with me, of me drawing my OC Moy as like a Frankenstein. But usually when you think of like Frankenstein, you're thinking like green skin, right? For some reason, I drew her as like a flesh-toned Frankenstein. So she was like flesh-toned, but she had like stitches and like patches of skin that was also just slightly like a different skin tone, and it looked kind of gross. And also I think the mental gymnastics of filming my hands as I was on my iPad was also not very comfortable, and so I just wasn't drawing to the best of my ability because I wasn't used to Procreate at the time. And so that footage and that drawing never saw the light of day, and it never will. No one will ever see that. And so that's what I did for 2023, and I guess, like, I don't know, I was doing way more stuff in 2023, and I didn't really have time to focus on like the Halloween theme of it all, because in 2022 I also drew Halloween stickers and like sticker sheet for my shop that I opened in 2022. But in 2023 I really didn't do much for the holiday, but I wanted it to be different this year, so that's what I'm doing this year. And originally I was supposed to actually make a new spooky type of sticker sheet, but I drew like the sketch for it, and then I realized like halfway through that I couldn't draw a cauldron. Like I couldn't draw a cauldron the way that I wanted it to look. It wasn't cute for some reason I was struggling with it so much, and so I just gave up on that sticker sheet. Yeah, guys, I give up a lot whenever I struggle in something in art, and it's not necessarily like something that I need to do, and it's just something that I'm kind of attempting at the moment. Honestly, if it annoys me too much, I will just give up, because I'm like, this isn't worth my time and my effort and my anxiety. So I'm just gonna give up for now, and I'll revisit it some other time when I have the mental capacity to do so. In the moment, I feel bad about giving up, but then the week later, I thank myself, because I'm like, thank you for giving up then, so that you didn't have to stress about it for like a couple of days and struggle with it. And my mind is currently going blank, and the first thing that's popping up in my mind is egg pie, because my sister just baked a bunch of egg pie today, and I love egg pie. Does anyone else love egg pie? If you don't know what that is, it's this like Filipino egg custard pie, and it's made with evaporated milk and condensed milk and obviously eggs. And anytime someone asks me what's my favorite food, I have always defaulted to egg pie. Even though there's so many other better foods than that, and also it's a dessert, not really like a food dish. I just love egg pie so much that it's the first thing that comes up in my mind when someone asks me about like a food that I like. I remember eating it when I was a kid, still living in the Philippines. I would eat it at the mall that my mom would take me to, and it was just so good. And I would always eat egg pie and leche flan. I also really love leche flan. My sister also made some leche flan today, and it's just super, super good. I guess I've just like revealed myself to be a lover of basically anything that uses condensed milk and evaporated milk in the recipe. Anyway, I'll stop talking about egg pie and leche flan, and I'll start talking about D&D, because I said in the beginning of the video that I would tell you all about D&D and the stat blocks that I was making for my NPCs. So, and I play with my sister, and we have been having a blast just playing a little D&D game, and the premise of our little story is, what if you took Cinderella's obnoxious and annoying stepsisters and you made them the main characters of a story, and they were also secretly trying to save the kingdom from dragons. And it's set in a very high fantasy, like Bridgerton type of world with magic and stuff, and elves and goblins and, so that's our D&D game. And I was making some stat blocks, which are basically, what are stat blocks? I don't know how to explain them. Stat blocks are blocks of words that helps you play as NPCs and monsters and stuff. Probably makes no sense to you if you don't know what D&D is, and I'm just hoping that you don't care, okay? You're just listening to me about the story. So I was making those because I am getting ready to do a really big like combat scene in our campaign, and it's gonna be our first dragon fight. So this entire campaign we've been playing for like, I don't know, at least a year now, and our characters have discovered that we're at war with dragons, but it's a secret, and it's almost like, I don't know, like I don't know how to say this without like spoiling some TV shows, but anyway, the kingdom is like the Matrix, the kingdom is hiding the fact that they are fighting dragons, like in the Matrix, where it's just, the simulation is hiding the fact that you're in a simulation, and so the people are just living in bliss. They think we're at war with some other like people instead of dragons. But anyway, our characters, because it's a Bridgerton type of setting, we've just been basically like going to parties and dancing and a lot of like socializing with other like prim and proper and obnoxious rich people. Lots of like gossiping and stuff. And so we went to a house party in the country, and we have been hanging out with this group of people, getting to know them, you know, some maybe flirting a little bit, finding out who's getting together, who likes each other, who doesn't like each other. And so it's been like a big gossip session. But we went to the small town that's nearby because it's having a festival to kind of celebrate the retirement of their local like minstrel or bard, the very popular bard that like performs there. And so we went there, and it's like, you know, super crowded. There's a bunch of people, and we're like, woo, like we just thought we're gonna go and watch a concert and, you know, wave our little K-pop like light sticks and like watch a D&D concert and improv it up. But then turns out a dragon is attacking us, and dragons are a pretty big deal in Dungeons and Dragons. And personally, I'm still a D&D noob, so this is the first time I'm ever going to be fighting a dragon, and I'm a little scared. And we're just level 3, and it's not even a full-blown dragon, it's like a baby dragon, but I'm still really scared because I'm like, I'm pretty sure this thing can like one-shot us if it tried. So yeah, I'm nervous about that. And we're gonna be playing that tomorrow. So I don't know how it turns out yet. Hopefully we don't die. And because I'm on the topic of D&D, I also want to talk about what I did last week. So last week I went to Yosemite for the first time. I did that 1 hour train ride where you go around and you just, you know, see the trees. And it was like really inspiring to be around nature and to just take that all in, you know, like, whoa, like these trees are gigantic. You know, in today's day and age, it's pretty hard to find yourself in nature and be able to appreciate it. 99% of us probably don't see a forest in like months or years or whatever. And for me, it was years. Because I live in the deserts of California. But going to Yosemite, it was really eye-opening to just be in a forest. Like just traveling over there, like driving over there was also really pretty. And I was like, wow, like I didn't realize how barren it is, the place that I live in is, until I went to Yosemite, because there are so many trees, and they're so beautiful, and they're so like tall, and it just kept making me think like, whoa, this is you know, what D&D parties are traversing through. This is the landscape that they're traveling through. This is like what they were walking in like Lord of the Rings or something, you know? And so it got me thinking about D&D, and anytime that my character in D&D has to walk through a forest, I will always think of what I saw in Yosemite now. But after that, we like walked around and just sat around like at picnic tables and just looked at trees. I got to see some carriages and like a really nice river. And I don't know, it kind of made me wish that I lived in a pretty foresty place. Even though at the same time that sounds like horrible, because there's like a lot of downsides to that probably. You know, I doubt that there's just like a Walmart sitting in the forest if you lived in a forest. My aunt lives in Seattle, and the one time we visited her, I remember we had to drive through a lot of forest to get to her big house. But maybe that was just her because she had a big house. I don't know. Wasn't Twilight in Seattle? Like, I might sound really stupid here, but isn't Seattle known for like having a lot of forests, you know? And yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking for fear of sounding dumb. But I think I've talked enough now to like satisfy the yap in my soul. So I'm gonna go and hopefully fall asleep. wish me luck on my D&D combat tomorrow. And that I don't die to a dragon. And if I do die, hopefully it's like a really, really epic or fun death. Here is the finished Jules Witch. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me talk about whatever, and also watching me draw or watching me color. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!